There's a broken, a healing, a hurting, a man who's still in process behind the gift. This is how come sometimes we get so distraught when we find out our leaders have fallen because we look at the gift only. But there's a man who's fallible behind that, and I was still very much hurting and healing and in process. And instead of trying to get into the hurts and help me heal, they just saw the gift and so they pushed the gift forward. But the hurting young man never ever got dealt with, and even I myself never dealt with him. I focused on other perfecting the gift because it helped me find acceptance, it helped me find a sense of belonging, something that I was always looking for. But the truth of the matter is, I never ever got to a place where I'd allow Christ to work with me deeply because everything I've done for acceptance. So whereas many were deceived, I'd even say to the place where they thought, this young man is really close to God, and I'd prepared beforehand, before meetings, and I'd spend time studying things, not even so much at a place where because I wanted to have intimacy with Christ, but because I wanted to be accepted by the church. I thank God now because now at this later stage now I see all those things that even though I studied back then with the incorrect intent, I see the fruits of it now years later, but this is after a lot of pain and hurts and scars and falling. So at this current time, mom was with someone, she had moved on and abuse was quite rife at home. And I wasn't staying with her because at home wasn't the most stable place. Many times we were in different places, different aunties and uncles, and once again I do not throw a stone at anyone, but the situation wasn't the most conducive towards us becoming productive. And I just remember going home to visit, I think it was just around about the festive season, and everybody was just in tears because they were longing for me to come home. And now I understand and I see that it was the last instruction that my father had given me that was embedded so deep in my subconscious, and I felt like I had failed him because they were by themselves with this abusive partner of my mom's, and I was somewhere else living my life. And so I decided to come back home, hoping that things would change. And everybody promised me, including I say my stepdad at the time, and even him as well. So I don't throw a stone at him because he was a good man. However, he also had addiction that overtaken him and overpowered him. And I personally understand it because for many years, addiction did in my own life and made me act very much out of character, which I'll speak about a bit later. So the abuse continued and just became worse. And so it'd always be from pillar to post. We stay 1 month, 2 months in a place because mom would get paid and he'd go into a psychotic fit, demanding money, drugs, alcohol. He'd abuse her physically, and there was always swearing in the home, and he'd do the same to my sister and to my brother. Unfortunately, he looked at me and he freeze because I look like my father, I think, especially with his haircuts as well. So I continued in that manner for about 6 to 7 years, and I just got tired of it, and I even got to a place where I questioned God, to be honest.